Hey, good morning, Rick. It's so humid here. But tomorrow's going to be fabulous. We had an amazing summer here in New York City. Just the like it hasn't been this cool in a long time. But of course, the very end of it, you get to just the end of it, and the heat wave comes in, and the tropical crap, and so it's really sticky today. But tomorrow's going to be wonderful, and every day, of course, is wonderful that we're alive.
It is, and you can just stay in the Cafe B all day, Mark, because it's highly air conditioned here. Welcome, everyone.
Well, and everything is gluten free and toxin free, and it's a great place to be.
No carbs, no calories. It's an awesome place to be. It can be whatever you want here at the Cafe B.
There's a lot of snark, but that really that won't hurt you, I don't think.
Narc
Snark, snark,
and smarm.
snark, and smarm. Those are our
That's
special,
our. I'll be
our blue
smarm,
plate
maybe
special.
snark. That's right.
So
Here's my
everybody,
coffee.
yeah. Here's mine. By the way, it's Las Vegas today. Las Vegas.
That's
We
right.
we went to the National Gay and Journalist Lesbian Association. I'll try to be quick. 2 years
Three
ago.
years, yeah, a couple of years ago,
Well,
right?
no. Last year I did a panel in Boston, but 2 years ago they were part of Unity, which is a big umbrella diversity thing that happens with the black journalists. Although they dropped out when the gays were accepted. It's a long story. Anyways, it was in Vegas, so we went to Vegas, and that's where the cup comes from. Amazing.
Yeah, we did a great interview with that gentleman that was the head of it during the transition. I remember that. It's interesting. We've met a lot of people over our time together, haven't we, Mark? It's been fun.
We have, and they did not accept Stephanie's panel suggestion, which I think was really stupid because she's amazing and smart and just fabulous. They should have done that. And I'm not renewing.
That's our friend. Yeah, let's mention who our friend is and
I
where you
will,
can meet
Stephanie
her.
Mott, and I'm not renewing my membership with it. I'm not renewing very much this year because I got to start thinking long term money wise. I don't need to belong to the NLGJA. I really don't.
No.
I don't get anything out of it. And a couple other things. I'm just not out professionals. I'm not doing it, man. That's money. That's money that just gets because I don't go to the events. I don't go to any of these fucking events. Why am I paying for it?
I agree. And your life has changed a little bit. Yeah, I got a notice from Amazon Prime that's coming renewable.
Oh, I got to renew that, man. But
I got it down. Now that's a must because we do use that.
I think I
Yes.
was locked in. Now let's hit it, hit it.
Hey, welcome to the cafe, everybody. Oh, Mark, I'm so sad. There's someone we won't see this morning that's usually here. Good old New Yorker. She's not here today.
Oh, Joan, yeah, she always stops by. We
She
give her
says hi.
we
She
give her free
does.
coffee, and she's done some fundraisers. But what I loved about her is that she never wanted the publicity. Like she would never wanted the thanks. She's totally behind the scenes. We loved you, Joan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're talking R.I.P. Joan Rivers. For real, guys, it's really sad. She broke the ground a lot for female comedians. I've heard a lot of people that have worked with her. My friend Jane Ryder here, who we interviewed once and met, she used to dress Joan Rivers on her tours and said behind the scenes, Joan was not the persona you see in front of the scene. But I actually liked her on-screen persona. You and I talked about the cafe not too long ago. You were kind of upset with her a couple, 3 weeks ago.
I was, and I'll talk about it. What was I going to say? Oh, and by the way, the documentary about her, A Piece of Work, is excellent.
It is.
And that's
Yeah.
what made me want to see her. Frank and I, now I'm glad we did. We went to see her at the Laurie Beachman. She performed there a lot. It's a little, not a dive, but it's a very small theater. And it was always split with God's Love We Deliver. And the thing is, she was extremely generous with her money. She did a lot of fundraisers. She was doing, and I read about this, but I knew it because we lived in Los Angeles in the 1980s. And back in 1984, I remember Joan Rivers doing AIDS benefits at Studio One. And like nobody was doing it then, Madonna, but very few people because they didn't, there was still this huge stigma attached to being a gay man with AIDS. But God loved Joan Rivers, man. She was doing it back then, and it made me. I was never anti Joan Rivers. I was upset with what she said about the Palestinians about 2 weeks ago. I don't need to quote it, but it was typically off the cuff, unthinking, and harsh, and it really upset me. And I thought she needs to retire. She needs to shut up. But then, of course, she died, I rethought it. I mean, those things that upset me about her are vastly outweighed and outnumbered by the things that I respected her for. And one thing, and then I'll let you talk. One thing I really liked her for is that she never apologized. She never apologized. She pissed off a lot of people, even recently when she said Michelle Obama was a tranny. Now, of course, we know you cannot say that word. I don't use it because I know it harms people. But Joan said whatever the hell popped into her head. And what I liked is that she did not apologize. Whether she would ever say it again or not, I don't know. But she didn't apologize because and this will be another of my topics with the PC piranha that are constantly swimming and hovering now. I love the fact that she didn't apologize. We live in a culture now where some sports person or a celebrity of any kind, anyone of any public note, says a slip of the tongue, or they say something that they might say in private about gay people or anybody else, and the next day they're issuing an apology. That's so true. Sorry. And then we sent. This is where I'm heretical and unorthodox. I don't follow the gay orthodoxy. They end up being sort of sent off to re-education camps, is how I feel about it. And then they have to grovel and say, and with GLAAD standing over their shoulder, and they've got to apologize. Joan never apologized, and God love her for it, because we need a lot more of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, rest in peace. She's with David Brenner, another great comedian. And there's so many David Brenner, all these great comedians that have gone before us. But yeah, on the same subject, the same day, earlier that morning, before her daughter Melissa made the probably very, very painful announcement to the public, was the fact that Betty White died peacefully in her home.
Betty did not die.
She did that morning. She died peacefully in her home.
Betty White is not dead.
Well, that's how my day started at work. Everybody out there, because I'm out of the cubicle life now. I have my own office now that I've moved into.
I don't know why you're still doing the show, but thank you.
You're
heavily invested in the cafe, and I'm not going to buy you out, so I get it. Go ahead.
Well, geez, once you own a restaurant, you can't get out. So don't do it, anyone. Don't own it. It will be on your back the rest of your life.
Right.
Oh, my God, the business is so fickle. Anyway, Mark, my point is this. Oh, my God, I look like the Queen or like Miss America or something.
Yes.
Oh, I think.
Pageant.
Yeah, pageant. Tomorrow night, Miss America. Anyway, point being this, that yes, some rag, and it wasn't the Onion, some comic rag had put out a headline that said, Betty White dies, D-Y-E-S, peacefully in her home, and it was about the fact that she's not really a blonde. And someone saw the headline, of course, put it on the internet. I thought it was a big hoax. You know how they do those hoaxes, Dead or Alive? And so we were all in mourning until 1 minute later someone said, it's not true. And then the wave went across the newsroom, and everything was fine. And then Joan died, and we're like, oh, yeah, right. But she really did die. So anyway, I hate those headlines. I hate internet hoaxes where they kill Sinbad and they kill all these people. She's not dead. She's just dying peacefully in her home. Yeah.
My turn.
So let's talk about being politically correct. What's your deal, man? What's up with that?
Well, I'm not yet a conservative by any stretch, but I'm a mix, and I like to think of myself as a free thinker.
Mm-hmm.
And things attract me, and I like engagement, and I like other people's opinions, even if I don't agree with them, even if I strongly disagree with them. I like all this stuff, and I always have. And I was going to say, on the LGBT Senior Facebook page, I'll go ahead and say it. The other day, the St. Patrick's Day parade here in New York City, changed its rules banning gay groups. Now, there's more to that story that I'm not going to go into, but the first lead coming out was that they changed their rules. So I posted about it on the Facebook page. I linked to the New York Times, because that's what I do, and I said St. Patrick's Day changes its anti-gay policy, and then I said, because I was raised on Lucky Charms commercials, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I Love Lucy when they went to Scotland and whatever. Anyway, so I said after that, I said, Shoren Bigora, there's rainbows in that beer. It was a completely stupid throwaway line. But some guy on the page was like, and this is the sort of person who can, I don't know how they walk, their ass is so tight, their sphincter's so tight. And he was like, that's really stereotyping Irish, and you should recuse yourself from this debate. Like, first of all, what debate is he talking about?
What is recuse? About? I mean, I've never recused
But he
myself.
was like, that's really, bigoted and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, man, relax. There's people getting their heads cut off in this world. There's people dying from Ebola. There's still people dying from... There's so much serious shit in this world. To be scolding me because I made some stupid little joke, half joke, and I and what I should have done was not engage him and just leave it alone. But I don't like, it was like, no, I'm going to say something. So I told him to relax. I said, relax. I said, the world is uptight
I
enough
hear
as
that. Oh no.
I said, the world is uptight enough as it is, man. Just chill. Chill
What
out.
happened? What
Well,
happened?
then he writes back, and, then don't you ever take, to task people who say bigoted things about us. And then of course, I responded again, and I said, the only people I may have been stereotyping are leprechauns. And then some other guy, God bless his truly stupid soul, chimed in and said, well, that's one group, and one group is too many. That is unacceptable. And then I just said, sigh, good night, because, like, does this man, the second guy, does he not know that leprechauns aren't real? I'm like, what? And then what really pissed me off is that I deleted the post the next day. And then, of course, I'm thinking about Joan. And I'm thinking, no, man, I should have done it. First of all, I should have just ignored him. If he really upset me, I could have just deleted the comment and blocked him. But Joan would not have done that. I should have said, fuck this guy. There's the humor. And then I put on my own Facebook page, because I'm oblique. People don't always know what I'm talking about. Like, what is he talking about? I said on my page, and then I'm going to shut up. I said, that scream you hear is humor begging for its life as sensitivity finally strangles it to death. Because that's the culture we're living in, man. You can't joke about Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, Richard Pryor.
Oh man.
They wouldn't fucking stand a chance today, because you can't joke about any goddamn thing without somebody saying, you're stereotyping the Irish, or that's a really horrible thing. You're such a bigot. You're a hater, hater, hater. Everybody's a fucking hater now. I don't call people haters because I think it's a cheap, sheepish thing to call people, but we do it constantly now, and I'm venting because it really pissed me off.
No, it's interesting, but I do think there's pure comedians out there that still take a risk. I think
there are, but they're not. They're very careful.
Oh yeah,
but they do it in the clubs. They do it in the clubs. They don't do it where they have to show up the next day with their agent apologizing for it.
Well, or they just don't.
Tracy Morgan did, man. Tracy Morgan did it.
Chelsea Handler, I'm going to bring her up, and she did it to the point that who knows really why she left E, but she was fearless, and she loved lesbians and lived with them and picked on homosexuals on television. I mean, there are still people that are out there, but you're right. You have to be able to know that the PC Patrol will come after you. Just like working in a restaurant, I'm sure they'll tell you here at the Cafe Mark, you're prone to get people write bad reviews about your food. People are prone to write things, and I know that's a subject you want to talk about too. Everyone is up for ridicule, whether you're the ridiculer or the person being ridiculed for being ridiculing. Does that make sense? Right. Your quote was so much more profound than the one I just spit out. Say it again. I liked what you put on your Facebook. Say it again, and then we'll end the subject, because I really like that quote.
But I do have one.
The screen, say it again.
I will, but I have one addendum after that, and we're at the 12-minute mark. I said that scream you hear is humor begging for its life as sensitivity finally strangles it to death.
So true.
The other reason it upset me, and this has happened before with that Facebook page, is that I have dedicated 3.5 years to LGBTSR.org. I've spent a huge amount of money trying to serve this older community, and that includes the Facebook page. And like when somebody like that just offhandedly takes me to task or scolds me, I don't need any goddamn scolds in my life, man. My father is dead. My father's dead. My mother's dead. Go fuck yourself. But I put so much effort into this, and he could have stopped and thought about that. No, he had to lecture me. Well, fuck you. The post is down, which is the only bad thing I did, was to remove it. And then the other thing I was going to say, I lost my train of... Oh, that was it.
We want to get into your other subject, because you're on fire, and I think we should hit it while you're on fire, and then we'll conclude. But I'm on fire. This week what fired me up was the ruling in Louisiana to continue the gay ban. I mean, well, I guess it's a gay ban or a straight ban on gay marriage, whatever kind of ban it is. It doesn't, to me, I'm kind of removing certain words. I work in advertising, and I'm not talking about print advertising and digital advertising anymore. I'm talking about advertising. It is what it is. If it's not on Facebook, guess what? It's digital advertising, but it's still an ad. And I feel that way about my comments. Every comment I made back about the ruling in Louisiana, or the subsequent ruling in my home state of Wisconsin, the next state which blocked the ban. So there you go. I live in a state where I'm not recognized for the love I was born to have, if that makes sense. And I won't get it too emotional, because I went to bed the day of the ruling and I was okay. And I woke up and I felt targeted. Then the next ruling came in Wisconsin. I thought, well,
Yeah.
that's, then I felt more at peace. But my point is this: all my comments about the ruling are calling it a ban on marriage. It has nothing to do with the fact it's a gay marriage. It has nothing to do, it's a fact it's a straight marriage. It has nothing to do with the fact that it was a straight judge or a gay judge making the ruling. The fact is, we're not being equal in what marriage is about and the ability for people to marry. Don't define it as a gay marriage. If I get married to the one I love, I'm getting married to the one I love. There's nothing different about it. And I think when we start to change that talk and speak, hopefully things will change. But I don't want to get too worked up. Ring the bell. We need to get on with this subject.
You're absolutely right, though. And, of course, the media and even gay organizations to some extent fell into that by calling it gay marriage for years now. It's not gay marriage, it's marriage. And we're not looking for the right to gay marry. We're looking for the right to marry. And Amen. It will fall. That ruling will fall.
I do. I believe that, when you always look at the positive, I think in any kind of world where you have faced discrimination, and I have as a gay man, that, and I know you have, and I know my black friends have, and I know my women friends have, and it's brought up a lot of conversations this week. But in a nutshell, I think that we always take the negative and turn it into a positive. And I think what will happen here is it will finally push SCOTUS to make the rule law of the land. It doesn't have to be a law of this part of the land. It has to be a law of the land. And we all have to marry equally in this great country we live in.
I wish we could end on humor. We haven't had a lot of humor today. We're usually really funny. Am I going to watch this and go, oh my God?
No. We're still funny looking.
I wanted to
We're
laugh.
very funny looking. Yeah. Yeah. So you had a comment on your book. Let's bring that up because I know you want to briefly bring it up. That's
well,
fine.
I will, but it's another thing where I should just let this stuff go. But I blogged about it at markmcniece.com, and I'm plugging it. But no, the Kyle Callahan mysteries, my mystery series. I just finished the first draft of the fourth one. And people in general, by a significant majority, like these books. They really like these books. I got lots of 5-star reviews, lots of 4-star reviews. In a few months, what happens is that I've twice now I've given the ebooks away. When you're on Kindle, you have that account. You can do that once every 90 days. You can give your book away for free.
That's cool.
And what it does is it gets a lot of people to read it, and exposes you to a lot more people. But it's also indiscreet. So when I tweeted the first time, like 2 months ago, 10,000 people downloaded the book. Now you go, at first I thought, oh, wow, that's amazing. But then I learned very quickly that people just like free books. So they download it. They don't know what they're downloading. And then when I looked about 6 weeks ago, I looked on Murder at Pride Lodge, and I saw these 3 1-star reviews, and I thought, that's weird because it was full of 5 and 4-star reviews. So I make a habit of not reading reviews.
Right.
I'll just read a couple of them to see if I can glean something.
That makes sense.
Something to learn from, because I have. It's not to do my ego. And in fact, I don't read them because I don't want the emotional up and down. I'm a great writer.
Sure.
I'm not a good writer. I just stay away from it. But I have learned some things about like pacing and stuff from some things people have said. Anyways, 3 1-star reviews. It turns out that there are 3 Christian women. I will say that there were 3 Christian women who were just like aghast that they were reading a book that had gay characters in it, and of course they referred to them as homosexuals. So, and they were just 1 sentences. And the thing on Amazon is you have to give it a star in order to say anything. So they did, and they took it upon themselves to put content warnings on my book.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm like, this is really unethical. This is really shitty. But I accepted it. I cannot respond to them. Couple of reviewers did and said, "What is this? What is it that you don't like? This is not a review." But anyway, so I let it go, and then it happened again because I did another giveaway, and I looked on there the other day. I shouldn't even look at it. It's got 44.
I would though.
It's got 44 reviews, 4-star average. That particular book. The other 2 are like 4.5 stars. But anyways, so I thought, oh, there's another one, and I knew what was coming, and I looked at it, and it said it was 1 star, and all she said was, this book is full of graphic homosexual encounters. Now, anyone who's read my book will tell you, I don't write graphic sex. I don't even write sex scenes. There have been a couple of things where it's implied, but I don't like reading sex scenes. I never have, and I don't write them. And these are older characters. It's not what my books are about at all. But anyways, I thought to this. Apparently, this woman thinks that two or more gay people in a room is a graphic homosexual encounter. So I was like, God, this is so malicious and so unethical. So unethical. But if you're an author who's giving your books away, there's nothing you can do about it. Even if, even if people are buying it, they might buy it and go, "Oh my God, I thought this was a fun murder mystery, and it's got homosexuals in it." But please, folks, if you're watching this, don't. I would never, ever, ever do that to an author or a restaurant or anybody else. Don't do that, man. It's so wrong and unethical, and fortunately, it has not dragged the rating down.
Yeah.
But it's fucked up, and it's wrong.
And just that back to your comment about the PC police, or the people that think they have to be the reviewers, the people that think they have to do something and protest and in whatever. I'm just saying. We all think we have to be the patrollers of what's right in this world and what's wrong in this world. And if people would just kumbaya, live in peace.
Just don't read the book.
Do your thing. Exactly.
If I started a book and I said, "Oh my God, this is like an S&M book,"
turn it away. Say thank you.
I just don't read it, man. That's all.
And the part that gets me is you gave it to him for freaking free. So that's the part that I really don't get. It's like just like you've given these people 4,100 people the chance to be on a Facebook page that you created and paid for to get those people to be members. You pushed the lights out. For those of you listening, Mark paid to help build that site, and I appreciate that. And you look at those things, but Mark, we can't control people, places, or things.
No, and the thing is, and we've got to stop because, I think when people see 22 minutes, they're hesitating.
Yeah, they're scared. They're gonna post that it's too long of a video. And
no, but the last thing I was going to say on that is I don't want to shut anybody down. I don't want to censor. I don't
exactly.
But it just was like so wrong. You know what I mean? It's one thing to say this is my opinion, but to personally take me to task over a stupid little leprechaun joke. Come on. It's wrong.
Hey, excuse, I'll get the check, sir.
Okay.
He's coming. Oh my God, look how gay he is. I mean, really, jeez.
We're full of them. This is a gay.
Hey, but I'm off to hear Matthew Shepard's mom speak. She's in town for the LGBT Film Festival. Someone we've had on the show too. We've interviewed people from the film festival here in Shreveport. And I want to say my topic for next week. Let's start to do a little teaser because this one isn't necessarily topical. I have decided, Mark, and this isn't just to get attention. I know we have to go. Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, he'll be tipped. I know he looks cheap, but he's not. Oh my God, I'm gonna live in a fake world all day today and pretend there's different people around me. Anyway, my subject next week is being a straight man trapped in a gay man's body. I really have come to terms with that's what it is. I'm a straight man. I just happen to be born in a gay man's body. For real, Mark. Okay. And we'll talk more about this.
I definitely want to hear about that.
Okay.
And I'll be out at the house doing this from the back porch next week. So
awesome. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for joining.
Have a good day. So glad Betty's still alive. Bye.
Bye.